Are you based out of Ottawa?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. I was trying to I didn't have a lot of information, but I wrote up some good questions for you today. I was hoping if it's all right with you, if we can possibly use some of the video for our bonus material or for our promotions. If not, that's
Yeah, for
okay.
sure. No, no,
Okay,
for sure.
sweet. All right, welcome to Dope Nostalgia. So we're a
Thank you.
podcast about stuff that happened in the 90s, and we're really interested in what's going on in your career now as well. So your Twitter bio says that at one point you had a liver transplant. What's the story?
Well, basically, my liver failed when I was 18,
Hmm.
but I was still able to live with it. And then when I was 35, it completely failed. I had to get a transplant. So,
Yeah. How are you doing now?
oh, I'm good now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful. Wonderful. Were
because I'm
you,
in Canada, right?
you got that health care? I know it's a blessing. I'm based out of
Yeah.
Edmonton. So
Okay.
I'm repping today. So
Oh, nice.
yeah. So were you with Organized Rhyme from the inception? How did you guys all get together and start making
I
music?
was, well, I was a co-creator.
Hmm.
So the three of us came up with the idea. But before that, I was in a rap group called Northern MCs,
Yes.
and we weren't going anywhere. So we kind of broke up. And one of the MCs introduced me to Tom, and
Hmm.
then from there it was just the rest was history. So
And when you say like when you're a co-creator, that was doing all the writing together, the production.
no, no, none of
No.
that type of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I co-created the group. That was it.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Um, so you guys met and became friends and went from there. Are you still in
yeah.
touch? Are you still in touch with everyone and still
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm in touch with Tom, and I are we talk fairly often. Although
mhm.
he's on the road right now doing a van life show. I don't know if you've seen that, but
Well, I saw him recently on the Drew Barrymore show and he was talking about going on the road with his dog.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in Utah right now, I think.
Okay, sweet.
And then Greg and I talk once in a while. We live in the same state city still, so
Hmm.
yeah.
That's cool. I mean, I've never been to Ottawa. I've only been as far east as Toronto. But what's that's where you were born and raised?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, do you speak French? We don't do much of that in
No,
Western Canada.
no. I should be in Western Canada. I don't speak any French.
If you were bringing somebody from out here, out west, out to Ottawa, where would you take them? Where are the best sites to go check out and best food? And
Oh, the best food. I mean, we have some of the best microbreweries in all of Canada. So I would take them to. We go on a brewery tour,
yeah.
and then I have some favorite restaurant spots in Ottawa. I like to hit up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One day I'll go out east. I got to see Quebec and the Maritimes. And
Oh yeah. No, definitely. Sorry.
you know, it's funny. It's like we have such a huge country, yet it's more expensive for me to go see the east coast of this country than it would be to fly to Europe.
Oh yeah. No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When I had my transplant, to fly to London, Ontario from Ottawa was $1,500.
Wow.
Like that's four trips to Cuba when you
Right?
think about it. Yeah,
Mhm.
four all-inclusive trips to Cuba.
Do you have to usually fly via Toronto wherever you go? Like
Um, well,
when you're in Ottawa?
I fly out of Montreal
Oh,
because
okay.
it's quicker, right? Montreal is an hour and a half from Ottawa, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. In
But I've
Edmonton,
been
a
out to
lot.
Edmonton. I've been to Edmonton a few times. I like Edmonton.
Yeah, I'm born and raised here, so it's like in my blood, this place. But we generally, if we travel anywhere, we usually have to stop in Calgary.
Okay,
Yeah. Or Vancouver. Just depends. Yeah.
which is weird because your airport. Isn't there a TV show about your airport?
I think that the what's the name of that show? Border something.
Below below zero or something.
Dave definitely filmed there. Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard about that.
You can
Now,
shoot in the mall. I like that you can go shooting in the mall there,
yeah,
which is kind of it's kind of
there's a
weird
gun.
when you think about it.
There is a gun range here at West Ed. We used to have the actual retired submarines in the mall,
Yeah, I remember that.
but those were retired even from there. And then they, well, now they have sea lions. They used to have dolphins. So
Okay.
I'm glad. I'm just kind of hoping they discontinue that altogether. But
Yeah.
but anyways, our so but when you guys are doing the group, there was you guys won an MMVA in '92 and a Juno nomination for organized rhyme during the. Now, did you go to the shows, to the actual award
I wasn't
shows?
part of I wasn't part of the group then.
Yeah.
We had a small falling out, and we went our way. So,
Mm.
but yeah, I wasn't part of that. I mean, then we just did a reunion show in 2011 for Just for Laughs.
All right. I read about that.
Yeah,
How was that
it's on
experience?
YouTube. Oh, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Um,
was fun.
did you ever had a chance to do any of the stuff with like going to Much Music and all of that kind of thing?
Well, in the beginning, I went record shopping,
Mhm.
and I remember we used to drop off we had a video that Tom released the video that we made in New York City. I think it was '89.
Mhm.
He we found a copy of that. That was up on the internet recently, and then I was there for the record deals, record shopping, and then after that we just went. I went my way, our separate way. Like they stayed together, and I went my way. So
So after Northern MCs, then organized rhyme, what did you do then?
um, I was in another rap group called Basic Four,
Mhm.
which is it's kind of funny now when you think about the name, but that well, I still talk to one of the MCs from that group. He lives in Vancouver, so Wayne Shadow,
Yeah.
and he was good too. I mean,
Well,
it's been fun. I mean, I look back. I mean, I started listening to hip hop in '79, '80,
mm,
and I mean, I never thought I would be part of the family for this long, but it's been
mhm.
an interesting ride.
I'm sure
I've
you've
been a
had some.
DJ. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was going to say, I'm sure you
I
had some
mean,
really cool experiences and
oh
stories.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, a ton. We've had so much fun doing this. It's been unreal. But I've also like I've been a club DJ for the past God, I don't even want to say. I'm 50
mhm,
now, so about 25 years.
mhm.
And it's been an interesting time.
I mean, obviously, right now there's not really anything happening when it comes to DJing and
No, no.
such. But let's say like a year ago, were you still doing it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing an 80s, 90s, the last Friday of every month. The Museum of Nature here in Ottawa turns into a bar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
What a
and
cool idea.
I had my own room. I had my own room, and I just played 80s and 90s, a little bit of early 2000s, and that was it. So
That's the best. I would love to find a club that just played like that wheelhouse of music, like that two
yeah.
decades. That's about it. Because I don't know, I feel kind of disconnected from the music now. And I think it's a combination of age and a combination of the fact that I don't feel like it's the new music doesn't really interest me that much. The new
Oh, new
top
music's
40,
horrible.
the new
It's
top 40.
horrible.
It's, yeah,
Oh, it's
no
crap.
melody. It's boring. I don't
No,
know.
you know, I mean, you think when you go back to 80s and I DJed at a club that was 80s and 90s every Sunday night. It was called Barrymore's,
Mm,
and it used to be packed. But then the age group that liked that music stopped going, so the bar slowly, when it shut down. But
mm.
there's the music doesn't last anymore like it did back then.
I can't think of many songs nowadays that come out that would have that longevity where you're still
No,
going to be listening to it 20 years down the road, even longer.
no,
There's also,
and 20 years from now, you're not going to hear. I mean, they're not going to flash back to this music.
no, I doubt it. There's certain ones that stand out, but not very many.
Yeah,
No.
a song typically lasts about um, 3 weeks is the length of a hit song right now
Mhm.
in a bar, which is
Ouch.
brutal.
They've
You know,
even they've even said that the last great like group that would be considered legendary was Nirvana. And look how long ago that was.
Yeah,
So
that was like early '90s, right?
yeah, so basically nothing's really come out that somebody is going to be legendary for as long as Nirvana or anybody before them. That's wild to think.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I feel like the music's kind of become disposable.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, you're actually right. It is disposable. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody can make their music at home now, and there's just nothing to it.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
was watching AC/DC on YouTube last night, and like that watching them play in arena still is it's shocking. Like I was watching them, I think they were playing in Rio,
Mm.
and the crowd was just going crazy. You don't see that anymore.
They have some kind of a magic that gets people all excited and whipped up, that band. I don't know. I'm not,
Oh yeah.
it's funny because I'm not a fan of their music. And one thing
Okay.
that's always got me, but I respect them. I respect them as artists and
Yeah.
everything. But one thing that's always got me was how people trash Nickelback so hard for doing the same thing that AC/DC does and they get praised
Oh
for it.
yeah. Yeah.
I just don't get it.
No. It's not. Yeah. It's unreal. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I do. There is some good Nickelback songs. So I mean,
Mhm.
but if you play them, you get shamed.
But
You
then
know?
if you go to the concert, you see all these people that you know that pretend that they don't like them. It's kind of
Yeah.
funny. And this
Oh
is
yeah.
coming from like their home province, and that's how it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, no shame. I
No.
love them. I
No.
think they're
No.
great.
They're a good group. I mean, I always get in crap for saying this, but I mean, really, they were the Rush of the years that they were there. You know, Rush got to a certain level, a certain plateau, and oh my God, I'll get killed. I'll get murdered for saying that. But Nickelback reached that same plateau, that Rush did. So
I think Rush is more, I mean, all kinds of people love Rush, but I think Rush is more tailored to, they're like a musician's rock band, like the
yeah,
mathematical rock band, you know, like the guys who want to be super technical about the craft and super technical about instruments love
yeah.
Rush.
But I mean, Nickelback was loved around the world at one time, but
Hmm.
I don't know where the bashing came from, but it's too bad. They're a good Canadian group.
I feel like it's more of a North American phenomenon to bash Nickelback more so than I think they do great everywhere else. They don't, I don't think they experience the same hate,
Oh
but
yeah,
we'd have to actually ask the band,
yeah.
but
You should
uh,
ask them.
yeah, maybe one day. Maybe they're sitting around at home needing to do interviews. Who knows? Did
I
you
mean, you look at Brian Adams. Brian Adams is the same right now. Like if you look at his Instagram, his social media when he's on tour
mhm.
in other parts of the world, there's humongous stadiums, and then he comes here and he fills a club.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Brian Adams at pretty much every venue in Edmonton.
Oh really?
You name it, he's probably played it in this city. Yeah, over
Oh
the
wow.
course of his career. So, yeah,
Never seen him. Sadly.
it's a good show. It's a good
Oh
show.
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very basic too. Like he's not flashy. You're lucky if you get a video screen. Like he pretty much has a
Okay.
video screen and some cool lights, but nothing too crazy. And I like it. It's good.
Yeah, he's making more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he's doing great for that. Did you ever used to be on the Tom Green show?
I DJ'd on it.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Now, what was the deal with Phil Giroux sitting behind the window laughing, drinking his coffee? I laughed at that. That itself was a hilarious sight gag, I thought.
Yeah.
That he was just randomly there.
Oh, he's there for moral support, right?
Okay. So
And the
he's
laugh. You need that laugh.
so he's like an old friend of the group kind of thing, and
Oh
he was
yeah.
just there.
Phil was part of organized rhyme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. There was in the beginning there was Phil, Tom, and Greg and myself.
Hmm.
And then Phil and Tom would get in. I think we did this one show one time where they we dressed Phil in Tom's, I think Tom's mother's snowsuit. And it was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's hard. It was hard to DJ back then because everything was so funny. You're trying to be serious, but then you have to laugh.
I think some of the best gags on the show had to do with Tom's parents.
Yeah.
Now, how did they really feel about everything? Were they all enjoying it the whole time, or were they really actually annoyed with Tom? Or
I mean, I don't know 100%, but I
yeah.
think from what I could tell, they were annoyed.
Oh, that makes it
But
better.
I mean, they did well in the end, right?
Yeah.
Oprah paid for them to go on trips and stuff. So,
Oh, that's wonderful. Whatever happened to Glenn Humplick?
oh, I don't know.
He's like the Andy Richter almost, like what
Yeah,
happened to that guy? We'll have
yeah.
to find him. We'll have to find him for the show.
I mean, I know where he is, but we don't talk.
Okay.
We're friends, but I don't talk to him on a regular basis. So
That's fair. We
but
all
I see
have
on social media Tom and Glenn are chatting again, which is a good thing, which is something hasn't been done in years.
Mm-hmm. You had touched on earlier doing the re-release of Check the OR in 2011 for Just for Laughs, and you were a part
Yeah.
of that. So how did that all come together and to make a new remake?
Well, Just for Laughs has an amp section, and they asked Tom to be in that part of it. So, and it was all like it was hosted by what's his name, Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, nice.
That guy that what's that? James Corden.
Yeah.
The music guy from his show, I forget his name. He was there performing too, and he was very funny, very good. So you can, I mean, it's up on YouTube now. I mean, you can watch the whole show there. So
all right, cool. I'll share it with the
yeah,
listeners. I'll put a link up for it. Now, Tom's also quoted as saying, and I think it might even be part of that because I watched some of those YouTube videos from the reunion there, that he created as organized rhyme, he created the first planking video that ever existed.
yeah, oh yeah, no, it's definitely he was the first creator of that. So
right when the phenomenon hit and everybody was planking everywhere.
yeah, he was doing that back. He was doing back in like '89. So.
Well, there you go. That's like way earlier than I thought it
Yeah.
started.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, he was doing that a long time ago.
Who have you got to meet in this music business that's taught you the most or given you the most excitement?
Through Tom, I've been able to meet all my, my favorite rap artists. So there's nothing. I mean, I'm not really. I don't really do the music scene anymore. I make music, but I never release it. I make beats and stuff like that. I DJ, and that's about it. I am working on a new project though. It's with a soldier from Edmonton.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk too much about it, but I'll send you when I can. I'll send you the information.
So that sounds good. Yeah,
it'll be an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of time before this episode's released. So if there's anything you want me to play on the show too, just email it to me and I'll add it in. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So like we've still got a couple months probably before this episode comes out. Now, how's the experience been working remotely with somebody? Because is that how you guys have been doing it since this person in Edmonton or are they in Ottawa?
No, they live in Pembroke. So.
Oh, okay.
And it's not music. It'll be like it's a movie.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the music business then, like the business part of music, as compared to how it was back in the late 80s, early 90s?
I never had to really deal with the music. I never really dealt with that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I was a DJ and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I never signed with any record company. I mean, I was part of Organized Rhyme, but I wasn't there for that part of it in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So business wise, I mean, I I I never really got into it. It's hell. I know I hear from other people, Canadian music industry is hell.
Mm.
It's not like the States where they give you tons of money.
Yeah,
It's a
that's true.
loan and you have to pay it back.
That's true. I've actually talked to both Canadians and Americans who've said the same thing where it seemed like there was tons of money flying around and in the end they were the ones paying for it, but they didn't even really, even though it's in the contract, they didn't really realize that, yeah, you're paying for all of this.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and I can only go through what, what Tom and I discussed when Organized Rhyme got signed by the record company. I mean, they were they were lent money to make the music, make the video, but then you got to pay back, you got to pay back your manager, you got to pay back the union.
Hmm.
So I mean, in the end, you hardly make any money unless you do tons of shows. So
Yeah. And the cuts that they would take from the actual recordings were pretty wild. Like I think an artist would make a quarter a CD sale, something
oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And
Something
even then,
wild.
if you're getting paid a quarter, you're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The music itself is almost just like promotional material, really, more so
Yeah,
than anything. You're only going to make money off touring.
yeah. No, exactly.
I don't think that's changed. I
No,
think it's still the same way, which is putting
no.
people in a pinch right now.
Yeah. I mean, Tom. I went on tour with Tom. What year was that? That was 2006.
Hmm.
We did the Keeping It Real crew tour for his album Prepare for Impact.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, we were in Edmonton. We played at something the Knights or
King's Night
Kings
Pub.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah,
was an interesting time.
that was a pretty sweet venue actually back in the day.
Yeah,
It's been reinvented a few times since then, but yeah, what are some
75-cent drink nights.
it was a popular place.
Yeah.
What are some good memories from that tour that you had?
Oh, I mean, it was a great time. We got. I mean, we had. There was Sean, MC. Sean Wright was on that. Jeremy Klein was on that, a professional skateboarder.
Mm,
DJ Chiba was on that. Mike Simpson from the Dust Brothers was on that.
hmm.
If you don't know Mike Simpson, he's the one, the Dust Brothers created, what was it? Paul's Boutique. They did the
That's
music for Paul's Boutique, Beastie Boys.
ah,
They did the music for Young MC, Tone Loc. So,
that's some big credits.
oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, looking back, and you never think you're going to meet those people back then.
Hmm.
When young MC came out with Bust a Move, never in my life would I think, oh, I would meet the guy that created the beat for it. So it's been an interesting time.
No kidding. Yeah, that sounds like it would be exciting to work with people like that. Did you get involved yourself in the using the internet in its very early stages in the 90s? How long was it before you caught on to using the internet?
Probably, probably like '96 is when I got into it. When I was DJing,
Mm-hmm.
I would create I would had my own web page, and we would take pictures of the bar, like the people in the bar that night, and then we'd
Hmm.
post them up so then people would go back and check out their pictures. And then
That's
it
pretty
just,
cool.
I mean, that was pre Facebook, pre, there was a lot of websites that didn't have, there wasn't any social media back then at that
Yeah.
point. My buddy, one of my buddies created a website called Bar Shots. It was mainly here just in Ottawa. He would go around, take pictures of people in the bars and, you know, a lot of drunk people, but
But then later they could go find their drunken self on his website.
exactly.
It's a smart idea.
Yeah. He's still doing it. I think it's on Facebook now. It's called Bar Shots on Facebook. So,
Nice. We definitely have nightclubs here in Edmonton that offer the same kind of thing where it's like, oh, check out our website, see your picture from this weekend and da da da.
okay.
So it's a similar idea, I guess, but usually it's the actual bar itself that hires a photographer and they go
Okay.
from there.
I
Yeah.
actually I do have a buddy that lives in Edmonton. His DJ name's El Zorro.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have to look him up.
I think he's an 80s, 90s DJ. So yeah.
See, and that's precisely the stuff that makes me happy when I go out and they're playing it.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm also 41 now, so I'm not really a club. I don't hit, I'm more of a pub person.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah. And a karaoke host too. So back
Yeah.
in the day when
Oh,
it was
nice.
back in the day when it was safe to sing karaoke in a bar.
Oh
It was
God.
great. It's good money to host karaoke actually.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm missing that a lot right now. But it'll come back one day. I'll be there.
God, I hope so. I can't take too much more of this. This being this lockup.
My patience is wearing thin, let me tell you. I've had a couple. Usually I'm pretty good at being like chill and just hanging out, being a homebody. It's been kind of fun. I've been creative. Has it given you a chance to be creative too?
I was in the beginning, and now I'm just lazy. I mean, for the first couple of weeks, a bunch of DJs and we'd all get together and we'd play online, but
Mhm.
nobody wants to do it anymore. It's not fun. You don't get that same vibe,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I think we're some of the things that we've been doing to get through quarantine are starting to become boring as we're getting into winter now. And we're just like, oh, come on. Like, I just want to go back to normal.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I don't know how it is there, but we're in another lot. We've gone back to stage two again. So,
I don't think we've left stage two.
oh no.
Or maybe we did get into stage three, but it's not great right now. Everything's kind of, we're definitely spiking hard. And my city has probably 1,700 recorded cases, active cases right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Here, I gotta just check mine out because this drives me crazy. This
Yeah.
whole
So 1,700 out of about a million people that are actually like tested. Then there's probably double that don't know they have it.
yeah, exactly. So we're locked down and we're considered a red zone right now.
Mhm.
And just take a guess how many cases you think we have. And we have the roughly the same population.
Okay, roughly the same. I'm going to go with when you say red zone, I'm going to go with active cases,
Active cases yet.
2,500.
Oh my God, no. We have 717 cases.
So Edmonton's just kicking your butt in a bad way.
Yeah. I mean, I can break it down to you. Even like we have 6 people in the ICU and 48 altogether in the hospital.
Wow. Okay, I'm not proud right now. Say.
But do you think it's like, I mean, this is off topic, but I mean, do you think it's crazy that we've gone back to stage two and we only have that many?
I think it might be somewhat political because I think
Uh,
it's very redneck over here. And a lot and that equates to people who are not wanting to wear a mask. There's a like
okay.
I mean, when I go out to the store, go wherever, there's always somebody who refuses to put it on, even though it's mandated by the city that you have to wear it.
Oh man, we get tickets here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't wear a mask, you get a ticket.
I was talking to somebody whose son is a scientist in the US, and she says and she's in her 70s, and she's not too concerned because she goes, my son studies this, says that honestly, if you follow the precautions and you actually wear a mask when you go out, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
So she's trusting that, and she's an old lady. So I feel like, okay, cool.
I mean,
I
this is
better be
this
careful.
is off topic, but I mean, I worked the last 7 months every day at my job,
Mhm.
my day job, and I didn't get sick. And I have a liver condition. I have a compromised immune system, right? So,
Yeah. So even more
but
reason for you to have to be cautious.
yeah, but I go around licking people's keyboards, the buttons on the elevators. I'm an IT guy, so
Are you?
you know, yeah. So
Okay, see.
I'm touching everybody. We're touching everybody's computers, and I didn't get sick at all. So
Nice. I want to get into that. I do tech support for AT&T in the US.
Okay.
So I'm the one they call when their modem's not working and I have to tell them to unplug it and plug it back in.
I
And
did
then
that for
and then I
11
send it
years.
and then I send a tech. Man,
Oh yeah.
people get upset. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
I did that for 11 years for Compaq and HP and Dell.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because of Glenn and Phil, right? They're both computer guys. So
Okay.
and when I started like after I mean after organize I left to organize rhyme.
Hmm.
It was so stupid. I mean, I don't I didn't talk to Phil. I didn't talk to Tom, and it was kind of weird. Like, and then we just met up again because a person on my street was working on his TV show, was doing the makeup,
Mm.
and that's how I connected with them again. And it was just it, you know, it's like everything. No time had passed. We still everything was still the same. And then Phil was in computers, Glenn's in the computers, and they said, they were saying go into the computer field
Mm.
because I was still TJing then. I was a party animal, and
Mm.
I was like 28, so it was time to settle down. So I took a computer course, and then I got a job in computers, and the rest was history. So
And there you go.
yeah,
Now it's still the thing to do. And I mean, computers has really grown to where everybody has one now. And it's not just a
yeah,
thing that it was like in the 80s or 90s where it was like, it was just for nerds. I was a total
oh
nerd.
yeah,
Man, I was a huge nerd. Like in the
yeah,
mid 90s, we got our first home computer. And I was big into what was called BBSes.
okay,
So
yeah, I know it.
yeah, it was basically you're calling up one person's computer and
Computer,
playing
yeah,
games and doing messages
yeah,
and stuff on it. And you're just
and
calling the
you would type out I'm walking, and it would. Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, totally. And I just loved it. I had one of my own. And of course, I didn't set it up myself. Somebody who's actually knowledgeable set it up for me, but I just
Yeah,
loved running it. It was a blast for me. And
oh, it
that's
was
when I
fun.
knew I'd be big into computers for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I look around. I've got 8 computers around me right now. It's like it's stupid.
Always building another one.
No, that's just not that. I have too many laptops. I have my like all my DJ equipment behind me. I've got I carry 2 laptops when I DJ, and then I just ended up with so many laptops. I got to get rid of them, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's too much. It's a big part of our world right now, right? So
Hmm. Yeah. I'm still partial to the desktop. I don't know
yeah,
if I'll ever like laptop
yeah,
obviously for DJing is perfect. I use it for
yeah,
doing karaoke shows, it makes sense. But
yeah,
I think I'll always have a desktop computer as long as they're being made.
yeah. No, exactly. I have one. I have one. It's easier to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel more comfortable with the like the
You
physical
can add
mouse.
parts, change parts.
Yep. Now, how has the 90s in the decade itself influenced you as a person, especially through the music of that era? Who are some of your favorite musicians that came out in that time?
Um, let's see. I stopped. I didn't. I didn't listen to many hip hop bands from the '90s. Well, I mean, there was Dr. Dre. I was a West Coast. Beginning in the. I mean, it was all East Coast in the beginning, and then I slowly moved to the West Coast hip hop. And
Hmm.
I mean, I like Dre. I liked NWA. Go back to the East Coast. I was always in the Public Enemy, so I just kept following those groups. But my
Hmm.
biggest the group that really got me into hip hop and that kept me going was Run DMC. That was it.
Nice. Very nice.
I
And
mean, I
there,
still wear the same. I don't wear the same shoes, but I wear the same style of shoes from back then.
yeah, no pioneers. And when it was like an East Coast versus West Coast thing, could you see at the time that it would eventually in some way become dangerous and that people
Oh
were
yeah,
going to lose their lives
yeah,
over it?
no, yeah, definitely.
Like it wasn't
It
all,
was
it was
crazy.
obviously never just a record company shtick. It was real.
No,
Yeah.
and then now, I mean, now you see all these TV shows where it looks like it may have been the owners of these record companies causing it. So who knows? But
Oh,
it's sad. It should never have got to that point.
are there conspiracy theories over it?
Oh yeah, Yeah, Netflix had a TV show about it. I forget what it was called, but they were thinking that I don't want to say their names because then I don't want us to get in trouble, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
No.
one record company in the East Coast and one record company in the West Coast was setting up the hit. So
Maybe I should edit this part out. I might. I'll see. I don't want us to
yeah,
get in trouble. But yeah, no, I didn't realize at the time. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you, until
yeah.
until they said like Biggie was dead and Tupac was dead, and then I was like, oh my goodness, they're not. This isn't a joke.
And can you imagine if Tupac was still alive right now, what it would be like?
Yeah, pretty
Like
incredible.
it would have been unreal with him, but like especially what's going on down in the States and everything, and Black Lives Matters, and
Mm-hmm.
he would have just been. I mean, he would have been at the forefront. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gone way too soon. And
yeah,
one of those people you'd wonder what if, for
yeah, oh
sure.
yeah, great actor, great musician. I think they stopped coming out with his music like 2 or 3 years ago. So
He just kept having more and more to release. It's kind of like
yeah,
How Prince is probably. It depends on how how much, what's the word I want to use? How much security they want to place over Prince's material, I suppose.
yeah. I mean, the stuff that we're getting now was the stuff that they thought was crap, right? But it was still good. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up with Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I was never a big Prince fan, but
I was always a bigger fan of Michael Jackson's music than Prince, but I did love Prince like later on, especially. But yeah, I was more of an MJ fan.
yeah.
Do you collect vinyl? Do you collect
Um,
cassettes or anything like that?
I do. I'm back to collecting vinyl now. My biggest thing right now is I'm trying to get all the K-Tel compilation albums. I'm like 3 or 4 away from having the whole set.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Good old K-Tel.
yeah. They were. I mean, that when DJing in the '80s and '90s, those were the best records. So I mean, they had everything on it. They had the hit songs. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a mixtape.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, I live in an apartment now, and believe me, moving around from place to place, carrying all those records back then, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I remember movers would be pissed off, because they'd finish moving the house, all the stuff would be packed in the truck. I'm like, well, there's still 40 crates of records to move, and then they were like, what? And then it would just it wasn't enjoyable, and even DJing back then wasn't enjoyable carrying all those records.
Hmm.
What a night! I think of what a nightmare it was back then.
That's a good point. Now everything's just
And
in the
then
laptop.
yeah, and then then you moved to CDs, and then you had to remember like I was able to, you could flip to your book and then you could pick up the CD right away, knowing that
Mhm.
what song was on the number. Man, I couldn't do that now. My mind's gone. But that laptop is so much easier.
Have you ever considered doing a podcast yourself?
I have I have the microphone, but I've never got around to it.
It's fun.
Yeah,
And
it seemed fun.
it's given me something really creative to do during this crazy time we're living in.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, you should put one together.
Yeah, I'll look into it. So, just going back to the day, what do you do for what's your day? Oh, your day job's with AT&T right now. Yeah.
Right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good job to take because it's work at home. Um,
Yeah.
but before that I've been a karaoke host forever. I sang in a band for many, many years, and then I was a restaurant server as well. That was good
What
money.
band?
Hard rock band of originals called Six String Loaded. So,
Okay.
yeah, all
Is there
my
YouTube stuff?
Oh yeah, Six String Loaded's
Oh
on
yeah.
YouTube. So, yeah, check it out.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, the we never really went touring or anything. We pretty much only played in Edmonton, but we did get to go to New York City back 5 years ago, actually, this month. We got to go to do a radio show out there that was like digital radio, and
Okay.
we got to do a performance at the jam space that Twisted Sister has in Long
Oh
Island.
really?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
So we got to meet the Mark the Animal Mendoza, the bass player from Twisted Sister. He came and
Oh, that's cool.
he gave us all of us kids some good advice about the music business, and it was a good experience.
What do you say? Stay away.
Well, not so many words, but just how to do it right.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. But and getting
As
to
long
see
as you
New
have
York.
fun,
And the end
you
of the
know?
day, yeah, you got to be having fun, or why are you doing it?
Yeah. I mean, we recorded the album that I was part of was recorded in New York in '89. And we shot a video in Brooklyn. I mean, it was crazy back then when I think back now, because
Nice.
we're three white kids wearing SWAT team jackets that say police on the front, organized rhyme on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in Brooklyn, New York, and specifically Brownsville, New York.
Yes.
So, we'd shoot the video, and then the our manager, okay, take your jackets off, because they were worried that somebody would go by and take a pop at us with a gun, right? So
Ah,
because here all you see is police,
wow.
they look real. I mean, we had these jackets made when I first started in organized rhyme. We'd go into bars because we were like 18, 19,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd go into the bars, and it would look like they were being raided because there's 12 guys wearing organized rhyme jackets that say police on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually bar owners wouldn't let us in with the jackets.
No,
Oh yeah, it was good times. It was funny.
I bet that's quite the memory.
Yeah.
Now, now to wrap things up, what kind of things like food items, clothing items, toys, etc., makes you nostalgic for the 90s?
Um, well, one of my buddies just created a company called Retros,
Hmm.
and he's built a computer. I can actually show you this. So this is like a hard drive that he gives out.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see all the Genesis, Nintendo,
Yeah.
Atari.
So we go back and we have all those old arcade games and television. Yeah, like everything. So I love that type of stuff. Clothes, I'm still wearing Adidas. I mean,
Mm.
I'll wear Adidas till I die. Um, and oh god, my cat's gonna bug me. Gonna try to
uh,
jump up. And I mean, I still have my turntables from the '80s, so I mean, I still use those.
mhm.
But and that's about it. But I miss it. It was a good time. It was fun.
I'm glad like we're still people like us still keeping those memories alive. Still fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking
when I
of
was
cats.
DJing at that bar, oh, your cat's there.
Oh yeah, she just whipped right past us here.
Oh yeah. I've seen her walking in the back before.
Little, yeah, yeah. She's little princess walking around here. But yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say? I apologize.
Um, no, no, don't worry, don't worry. So when I was DJing at that bar called Barrymore's, which was an '80s '90s night, people would get dressed up in '80s outfits, and it was fun to watch.
Hmm.
You'd see the odd Varney shirt show up sometimes, like a green Varney shirt.
Classic.
Oh yeah,
That would be so great. There's so many things I wish I'd kept that I'd still want to wear,
oh yeah,
like my hypercolor t-shirt, which probably wouldn't work anymore anyway.
yeah.
But
I got into collecting Oakley frog skins again.
yeah,
So I have about 10 pairs of those I've been collecting.
I love that. Yeah, it's been so good talking to you today. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Brian, for
thank
your
you.
time.
Oh,
Um,
no problem.
I'll tag you in the social media when I put the episode out. But like I said, it'll be a
Okay.
little ways away still. And if you
Yeah.
have anything you want to share in the meanwhile
Yeah.
that I can promote for the podcast, let me know. Just send
Okay.
it to me in an email, and
Yeah, for
I'll be
sure.
happy to do that
And stay in touch.
for sure. I'll have
And
to
I'll check out Six Strings, right?
six string loaded. Yeah,
Six Strings loaded. Okay. I'm going to
yeah.
check that out now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll have to visit Ottawa one day when all of this crazy, stupid pandemic
I'm
stuff.
coming back out to Edmonton. I like that mall. That mall's awesome.
Yeah, gotta go check out the range again.
I love that. You can't do that anywhere else. Like you live in the Wild West, basically. I mean,
Hmm.
in Ottawa, they would go crazy here. You can't, I remember, I don't know what it's like now, but this was before, it was probably it was 2000, it was a year before my liver transplant.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to go to Cuba. I know I don't keep you long, but
That's
I was
okay.
supposed to go to Cuba, and then I got sick, so I couldn't go to Cuba. So I had this voucher I had to use. So I'm like, well, where can I go? I'll go to Edmonton because they got the big mall, right?
Yeah.
That's like 3 or 4 days right there taken care of. I'll just go hang out in the mall, and I'll go shopping every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I remember the shooting range because when we were on tour in 2006, I remember seeing at the end of when we were just leaving, I was like, oh shit, you can go shooting. We could have all went shooting instead of buying matching hats. And like I remember going there, like, yeah, just give me your driver's license, and that was it. And they gave me a gun and bullets, and I walked into the range. I don't know what it's like. It's probably not like that now. It can't be like that now.
You
Still,
don't need anything but that? Oh,
that's all.
wow. I
They
had
asked,
no
did you shoot a
idea.
gun? Did you shoot a gun before? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
And
risky,
then
hey?
yeah, when you think about it, I mean, everything that goes on now, there has to be more security there now because back then, this
Mm,
was 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago, the guy came with me. He made sure I could load the gun and shoot it.
yeah.
And then he took off. He goes, oh, do you want your picture taken? And I'm like, no, it's okay. And then he just left me there with a gun.
Yeah. Good
Oh,
old
the good old
Edmonton.
Wild West. The Wild West.
Come to Alberta.
Yeah.
Come to Alberta. I tell you. Oh,
No.
okay. Yeah. Well, thanks so much. I had a good time
Yeah, no
chatting with
problem.
you.
You too. Take care.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.